Hi guys, how's everybody? I wonder if we'll get anybody on here tonight because the Super Bowl thing. I don't watch football. I stopped watching organized sports a few years ago because I get a little excited. When I watch sports, I get a little excited. I don't know. I can't help myself. I get stressed out. So I decided not to watch the Super Bowl. Now and then I'd watch the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl, right? Or the last game. If there's a game 7 in the NHL playoffs, I'd watch it just for the sake of it, but I decided not to. So this could be a ghost town. Oh, we've got 4 people on here. It could be a ghost town, I was going to say, or else I'll just be talking to myself for the next hour or so. I don't know. Hey, we're working on a Patreon. We started working on a Patreon page today. We started 2 years ago. Then I started thinking, oh, this is just going to be too much work. This is just a make work project to make an extra 1,000 a month because, hi, Kim. Kim, you're not watching the Super Bowl. You're always here. That's great. Quay scenes. Key scenes? Because sometimes. Hey, Maria. Hi, John. Kim, you know what? It's embarrassing. I couldn't even tell you who's playing. I don't follow organized sports. I just don't. It's pretty pitiful. And my friends at the radio station say, you should know this. I'm going, well, yeah, I'll check. But this year I didn't check. Look at all these people. You're not watching the Super Bowl. Didn't it just start like 5 minutes ago? So I'm going to go through the comments. Kim Trickle, nope. Peter Gabriel's birthday today. Happy birthday, Peter Gabriel. Yes. James Bashir, hello, John. How are you this evening? I'm very good. I'm just hanging out tonight. Shannon's upstairs looking after our daughter Danica, by the way, if anybody asks. Guys, hi. Rick, hi, guys. James Bashir, hello. Who's hanging out? A lot of people, a lot of the regulars. What's going on? Am I the only one not I'm not the only one not watching the Super Bowl. I can't get my words together tonight. Snowman, sorry, John, watching the Super Bowl. Go back and watch it. No, that's fine. That's fine. Jason Free, you have the coolest videos online. Thank you. We're trying to build our channel. We're building a Patreon account so we can raise money to advertise the channel because all the other guys really do. Most of the guys who are doing this, they'll at least pay to have their videos on the side, as suggestions. And I don't think YouTube penalizes anybody for not doing that. I don't think they would do that. But we really need to get our videos out because the amount of work we put on our videos is insane. It's just crazy. Like the one that we released today, artists that were gone from bands before they became big. Shannon spends a day writing one of those. Chase spends half the day putting it together. For me, it's 15 minutes of voicing, but it's a lot of work. Okay, Snowman's watching Super Bowl. Anyway, Jason Free, thank you. Rick, hey, John. I was going to see Toto in 2 weeks, but they postponed the show until next year because they're on the road with Journey. Oh, I didn't know that. Rick, a little disappointed, but I wasn't getting my hopes up. Here you go. Case, is it a Quay scenes or a key scenes? Because, there's, whenever you have that spelling, a lot of times people say it's like in Vancouver, Lonsdale Key, but it's spelled Quay. Jack Graham, Super Bowl is boring. Matt Siverson and Paperback Rocker, I'm watching the Super Bowl. Right on. Charles Wilson, rock and roll Super Bowl ain't rock and roll. Okay. Maria Day, Bengals, Tams. John Adams, hi from Connecticut. Hey, John. James Bashir, don't have regular TV. Crazy Prog 19. Hey, I like your style of music, Crazy Prog 19. It's one of my favorite genres. Do you have a favorite Peter Gabriel album? I'd have to go with the one everyone picks. So, Security's really good too before that. I'm a big Peter Gabriel fan. Rockchild, Rick, any idea if Wolf and Alex will ever release anything from Edward's massive tape vault? A lot of people have been wondering because he's got a lot of stuff in a can. Rockchild in the 60s. I have zero desire to watch football. Hey, Rockchild, nice to have you back. Let's hear it for Saga. Rick probably in the future, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Elias, I am watching this and the Super Bowl at the same time. Hallelujah. Thank you very much. In our the Patreon things we're setting up because we really need to raise money. I mean, that's an unfortunate thing, but we really need to raise money for advertising. We don't have that money for advertising. We don't, this making a live on YouTube is a tight budget. We have a tight budget every month. And so our Patreon is going to be based on having group chats. Most of it is going to be based on talking to you, access to talking to me anytime you want, access to a one-on-one Zoom call if you like. If you're doing YouTube, I can help you with that. It's tough doing this genre in YouTube right now because there's like 5 players that get a lot of the hits. And those people who watch those 5 players also have a lot of other things that they're interested in. So the world has changed in YouTube in the last year. The quality of our videos hasn't gone down. We're getting bigger videos because this year we'll reach 100,000 subscribers. But at the same time, it's a tough game. So that's why we're creating Patreon so we can have people, if someone wants to, chat on a regular basis, that's perfectly fine. We're not sure if we're going to do the t-shirt thing. A lot of people are interested and they're kind of interested in that. So a lot of the Patreon will be mostly a lot of one-on-ones. And we're setting that up because I like talking to people. And, I see Shannon every day and Chase every day. And our daughter, Danica, who's autistic and 23, she's a joy, but we don't get a chance to talk to people outside of that an awful lot. So I'm being selfish. I'm going, I want to talk to you. So there you go. Jason Freed. Are Guns N' Roses recording a new album? The word is they're working on some stuff, yes. Jack Graham. Do you like symphony pop? Bands of your country like Psyche and the Skinny Pop? No, I don't know. Alex, favorite halftime show? I've never had one because I don't really watch football. You know what? I used to have, we're in Canada, we used to have seasons tickets to the BC Lions, and I went to one game because I wanted to see BC place, and tickets to the Edmonton Eskimos. I saw a few Edmonton Eskimos games because I was so excited to move to a big city in 79. Then I had seasons tickets to the Calgary Stampeders and never went once, always game away. There you go. The thing is, I always say you can't cheat on that. I mean, you can go for the experience. I played football maybe half a dozen times. That's about it. So I don't have one, Alex. Stonewall Jackson. Good evening. Could you recommend a few albums that I could listen to beginning to end? Well, I think that the Genesis Selling England by the Pound is one that I think is good there's no weak spots in it. I'm not big on recommending double albums because I usually think a lot of them sound like they should be single albums. Like, I think The Wall should have been a single album. I know. I can hear the wrath. But then again, I think Goodbye Albert Crow was a great album. It was a double album. I think that Small Creeps Day by Mike Rutherford is a perfect album. I think that Nature of the Beast by April Wine's a perfect album. Elton John, Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player is a perfect album. Start to finish, nothing wrong. Jude Cole's albums tend to sound perfect to me. They don't have weak spots in them. Tears for Fears, Elemental, to me is a perfect album. Repeat Offender by Richard Marx. And even outside of that, going into things like the Windham Hill Years, if you like a lot of prog rockers sometimes like the new agey stuff that's acoustic. I don't know why. We got a lot of listeners that were proggers that would listen to my show in Edmonton when I was doing new age music, or NAC, like the wave format before it went smooth jazz. I don't have a favorite Cheap Trick album. Live at Budokan, maybe. That'd be the only one I ever had, really. I was never an Iron Maiden. Saragon 72, I was never an Iron Maiden fan. I don't dislike them. I never. Matt Syverson. My favorite song on April Wine, Forever for Now, is Child's Garden. Yeah. Such a beautiful song, right? Yeah, I know April Wine very, very well. My favorite Canadian band. Charles Wilson. Access to just love the Ian Anderson interview. Thanks for all the great stuff you're doing. Thank you, Charles. Ian Anderson was in a different mood this time. I think this was the fifth time. I lose track of interviews. And he smiled and he was fun. But I purposely tried to mix it up. I went, no, I'm not going to prepare too much for it. I'm going to ask him a few zany questions. And I had some questions left over from the last interview. So, and there's all the album. There's always the albums you want to talk about. I like talking about the live album, like Thick as a Brick, Aquilon, of course, Minstrel in the Gallery. I love talking about, even though he didn't do it, the hare who lost his spectacles on the Passion Play. Marshall Tucker Band, not that familiar with them. What aboard the Super Bowl, Colin Campbell. Ashley said Marshall Tucker. Key scenes. Yo, Jack, I saw Skinny Puppy live. The Music Critic. Hey, The Music Critic, have I asked you this before? Do you have stuff on your channel? Jazz and rock and roll. Which Todd Rundgren album do you prefer? Nearly Human to me is... there you go. That's another perfect album. In the late 80s when Nearly Human was released, and I have a friend who worked for A&M Records who would always get me into these bands. Not always A&M Records people, because I don't think he was ever on A&M Records. Maybe he was. I don't know. She once told me, she says, oh my God, I got a perfect album. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. And everything on that album is, The One of the Nail. Oh my God. Bobby Womack. Amazing. Rockchild of the 60s. I am recording the Super Bowl just to watch Mary J. Blige. She's a force, man. She really is. Took me a lot of years to appreciate her, but I really do. Rick. Oh, he's talking time. The Super what, Steve says. Steve Weatherall, FM. Are you talking about the band? Sargon 72, have you ever seen UFO? No. Was never a big fan of UFO. Halak Shaddam. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Rick. John, have you ever seen Toto live before a couple of years ago? Because I know you went to see them a couple of years ago. No, the first time I ever saw them. They never came to any towns that I lived in at the time, or else I was out of town. But I would have seen them. And in the 80s, that was lean years for me, being in radio. It was fairly lean years. I hadn't become a program director yet. I was a music director, but for an evening show, which was a new agey jazz evening show, which I loved, which caused me to work harder on my career because I just loved doing it so much. People left me alone. I got a lot of calls, but I was able to do my own thing. I had the weekends off. I was dating a very, very beautiful girl who made me laugh all the time. It was a good time for me. And she worked evenings and I worked evenings, and I went, I'm not going to try to pursue my career. And I was syndicating a radio show across the country. It's not like I didn't have the chops. Yeah, Something, Anything, Jazz and Rock and Roll. Everyone names. I mean, that's the quintessential album to name, right? Hello, It's Me. Something, Anything by Todd Rundgren. Perfect double album. That's the album that made people look at Todd Rundgren and say, and we used to say this in radio, that Todd Rundgren can record and come up with any hits he wants. He just is. That's not what he wants to do. I used to think he was one of the most important writers. I mean, in some sense, when he produced like Badfinger near the end, they had a bad experience with him. But Joey Mullen told me personally that they had made up and they worked together. Favorite Steve Hackett album? Voyage of the Acolyte, I would say. And the, what's the one with the one word? It came out in the early 80s. Oh, God. Someone will come up with it. Physical Graffiti, perfect album. Perfect double album. And I can't decide. I'll change. I'll go from saying 4, Led Zeppelin 4 is the best one. Then the next day I change my mind. I go, no, it's Physical Graffiti. And to be able to say that about a double album, I was just looking at the store the other day. It was like $76 for the remastered one, with still the little holes and the little windows. And okay, Let me look up that Steve Hackett album. I'm looking it up on my computer. I have never done that before on a live feed. I've never looked up anything. It's the first time. Discography. Defector. Yeah, Defector. But the first one, Voyage of the Acolyte, I just love that. And I didn't buy Please Don't Touch right away. I went from Voyage of the Acolyte to Spectral Mornings, then Defector, then Cured. Then I bought Please Don't Touch. I like Cured a lot, even though he was doing that kind of vocally stuff. He plays it down now a lot. Okay. Colin Campbell, Dark Side of the Moon, perfect album. Yes, truly perfect album. I like Wish You Were Here a lot too. Came out after, of course. Mark Burchett. Why can't I say your name? Mark. I can't say that. I don't know why. I got a mental block. Don't take it personally, please. It's just Shannon always says it right. Hello from Utah. Utah is a place I want to be. Osmonds. The Wall single album. That's like saying Sign of the Times was too long. To me, The Wall just had a lot of like old man singing. I know it was meant that way, but. B.B. Dodge, Pink Floyd, Animals. I got into Animals much later. Jazz and Rock and Roll. Manassas' first LP is flawless. Marco Falzone. I can't say names today. I love Windham Hill. The Windham Hill stuff, by the way, if anyone is into acoustic, they weren't just acoustic, but because after a while they started releasing vocal stuff. Even Michael Hedges was what is it called? Watching My Life Go By. I think that album. That label in 1986, when I started doing Nightlight at CKXM in Edmonton, in a log cabin beside the major TV station and the AM station, changed my life. I was going through a divorce. I finally started dating people that I had in common with. I love my ex-wife. We get along really, really well, but we were just never meant to be that way. We should have been friends. It's just, we made two beautiful kids, and I would never take that back. But I was doing the Windham Hill label, Narada, Higher Octave, all that stuff, and American Gramophone, the Fresh Air series. I used to test stereos with Fresh Air 1, 2, and 3. And it changed my life, like I said. I was in this cabin getting all these calls, and I still felt kind of safe. I was only 26, because a man at 26 is not always a man, and I certainly wasn't. Breakfast in America, Patricia, you're right. That's a perfect album. I think most of Supertramp's albums are perfect albums, except Indelibly Stamped in the first one. But, yeah. Brian Drexler. John, do you like Captain Beefheart? Not really. Nope. I had a lot of friends who had more diverse tastes than me, so I was always exposed to different artists that otherwise I wouldn't have heard or even liked. Rockchild, the 60s. Watch Genesis video from the world tour that ended in Brazil. Great DVD. Oh, is this the 2007 one? I just had that in my hand today. Ian McDonald, founding member of King Crimson, and Foreigner passed away. Yes, he did, February 9th. We missed that one. Soft Machine from Steve. Dr. Insomnia. I just watched Dr. Sleep last night. Has anybody watched that movie? I kind of liked it. It was anticlimactic at the end. I don't want to say anything about it, but it's well worth it if you like that genre. I mean, they visited, the Shining House, which was cool. I was thinking, by the way, of starting a New Age channel, because I've interviewed so many people from the Windham Hill label, Alex DeGrassi, Will Ackerman, his cousin. I've interviewed all the Montreux people, Barbara Higbee, Mike Marshall, nobody in Shadowfax, but Scott Cassou, his guitarist Van Manakis. Oh, I could go on and on. And from Narada, David Lawns, David Arkenstone. Liz Story from... Oh, no, I didn't interview Liz Story. I've got a Liz Story interview, but it's not... I didn't do it. Someone just gave it to me. So many people. Jesse Cook, the Canadian guy who was on Narada. I've interviewed so many of those people. Mannheim Steamroller, what's his name? Chip Davis. Yeah. What do we got? Did you ever meet Rick Nelson? Never do. No, never have. Rick says, Jude Cole, Start My Car. Kim Richley's debut are incredible. Yeah, Jude Cole, I've just really gotten into listening to albums that I didn't have before. Scarlett O'Hara, hadn't heard the I don't know how to say that. Mark Burchett, yeah, that's what it is. Uriah Heep. I like Uriah Heep. Took a lot of years. I had their Greatest Hits Volume 2, Best of Volume 2 in high school. The Music Critic. Who are the Little Six of Prague? The what? I don't know what that means. Jazz and Rock and Roll. I wholeheartedly believe that Wizard is the greatest LP ever made. Huh. Skinny Puppy, Windham Hill, Soft Machine, all in the comments. Okay. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. Injured Table Tennis Player. Hey! Jethro Tull, Perfect Album. A lot of people don't like Minstrel in the Gallery. It was the first one I ever bought. And I love Minstrel in the Gallery. A Passion Play I bought on cassette, I think in 79. Songs with Wood. Heavy Horses. Yeah, Passion Play I liked a lot too. This is a story of the hare who lost his spectacles. If you don't know Jethro Tull, know that album, you'll think I'm freaking crazy. And that's okay. Because I'm freaking crazy anyway. Injured Table Tennis Player, oh, you already said that. Scarlett O'Hara, Marshall Tucker's Homegrown. Yes. Alan, Guns N' Roses have a new EP out, right on. West Creek, hey, good evening, John. Marco Falzone, Baby It's Tonight is one of my favorites, 1990. Yeah, it's a good one. Mike Syverson, Songs from the Wood is Jethro Tull's perfect album. You know, Heavy Horses, that one in Heavy Horses to me just loved it. Dr. Insomnia, yes, Captain Beefheart. Matt Syverson. But then again, Thick as a Brick, Passion Play are outstanding albums. He was so in his zone back then. He just was. Him and Martin Barr, God. James Tejeda. Shadowfax, Shadow Dance, Progressive Rock, Transition to Windham Hill. Yeah. A song from my brother, originally Watercourse Way. Yeah. Well, Chuck Greenberg died. That's the thing about Shadowfax. When he died, the band was... The Music Critic says, I'm working on getting stuff on my channel. Oh, good stuff. Reach out to me when you do. We'll give you some plugs. And if you want to work together, let me know. We can do some stuff. Have you on the show. We can promote your channel. Just be a guest. Mark, what's wrong with my brain? Miles Davis. I like Miles Davis. I play Miles Davis on the radio because I was doing jazz for a while. The Music Critic. For now, I have a website. Right on. Show. Well, everyone says Bitches Brew, right? When it comes to Miles Davis. Rick, Pat Metheny's. Yeah, As Falls, Wichita, So Falls, Wichita Falls is just it's got that version of Amazing Grace, Estupenda Grasa on there. That's just blows me away every single time. I saw Pat Metheny once, 89. Sarah said, have you ever seen a ghost? Yes, I have. That's a whole other story. I said this before in the show, and I know what I saw, and if my eyes were playing tricks on me, it really did a good job. And no, I wasn't drunk. I hadn't even touched a drink. 75. I was listening to The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I was reading Bram Stoker's Dracula. That's not a good combination, right? And I was really feeling, and remember with Dracula, there's that ship. He's coming across on the ship, and the ship comes, and everyone's dead, in the story. And at the same time, reading the Edmund Fitzgerald, I heard clicking on my wall, on my window. And we lived in an old church. We were very poor. My father bought this old, not a church, an old school. And schools back then in churches looked the same. Remember, old schools all looked like churches back then, long windows. And we had boarded up the bottom of the window so no one could see in. But we didn't put curtains on the top because we thought, what's the point of that? Because no one's that tall to go up there. So I remember I heard the clicking. I let it go. I heard it again, and I looked up, and like everything in my body just went away. I saw someone looking back at me, and it looked like I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. I couldn't tell. And I remember I'd read enough ghost stuff to know that if you see someone who you can't tell what sex they are by looking up there, that might not be a good thing. But I was getting away from religion at the time, and maybe it was my guilt or something. And then I got back into it, then I left it again. So I want to play it out if I leave something, right? That's why we talk about religion a lot on this show, even though I'm not religious at all. I really understand the power, and I believe someone's up there I think we have an afterlife and stuff. That's why I ask people that question. I think we're all praying to the same thing. For now, I have a website, Yes Bitches Brew, Pat Matheny. Have you ever seen a ghost? Saragon72, thanks for asking. Steve, yes, love your channel. The band FM, I love FM. I told the story, Ben Mink called the radio station one night when I was playing a song that he and Katie Lang had wrote, and we had shortened the song, and I knew it was him. He didn't say he was Ben Mink. He just was very mad. I said, well, you're gonna have to talk to management. I'm just the guy at the counter, I'm just a DJ guy. I didn't do that's your song. And so I talked to him. He lived in Vancouver at the time. So I thought, well, he co-wrote this song. It's gotta be Ben Mink. That's not Katie Lang. And I told the guys in Grand Funk that about Nash the Slash from FM in the early days. He recorded I'm an American Band. He says, I'm an American band, not we're an American band. And they didn't know he had. So there you go. I love FM. Phasers on Stun, eh? Dr. Insomnia, Velvet Underground. Yeah. Nico. Charles Wilson. Since we're on the subject of rock and roll, you are familiar with Bebop Deluxe, yes? Listen to them live album. You won't be sorry. Thank you. Todd Rundgren, Nearly Human concert was absolutely amazing. The album is flawless. It really is. BB Dodge. How about Les Pucks? I don't know who that is. Oh, J.J. Cale, Naturally album. Thanks, Ship Penman. Peter Alexander, XTC. Have you seen the documentary on XTC? Man. Amazing. Andy Partridge. The stage fright story. It's just fantastic. I loved it. I saw them opening up, I think for the Police. But I saw XTC. Liking Merlin's Murder Machines. Yes, I mistakenly said their album was out. It's out in March. I got to change that. I can't change it, but I can clip that out. James Bashir, Supertramp Crisis, What Crisis? Great album. I really love that album. The 1-2 punch in the beginning, with Sister Moonshine on there. That is crazy. Hey, Keith, hello from Alabama. MacGruber got me back into Toto. I watched MacGruber. It's so stupid. It's funny, and it's meant to be stupid, obviously. It's a conscious thing. MacGruber, what are we going to do? Rick, any love for Nick Drake? Not for me, no. Quadrophenia The Who. I bought it when the movie came out. In the early 80s, they released the movie with Sting in it. And I like parts of it. There's something about the Who that I can't dislike. Even though I'm ashamed to say the first album I ever bought was, 78? Who Are You? That was the first Who album I ever bought because I was not the biggest Who fan before that. Bad, I know. Hot Rats, Frank Zappa, Dr. Insomnia. I'm not into Frank Zappa whatsoever. But I could, all my serious music fans, not all of them, a lot of my serious music friends, they love him. Joe's Garage I had on cassette. That was it. Marcus says, "Hey John, just wanted to say thank you for having Ian Anderson answering my question." Oh, Salmon Fry. Yes, that was your question. Yeah. He spent a lot of time on it. I was kind of hoping because I'm thinking I always ask for the last interview of the day so I can stretch it. And I have enough confidence in my interviews capability that I can keep someone occupied even though they might be tired from a whole day of interviews. I usually ask if it's there's a particular person who set up that interview. I've gotten to know her a little bit. So I'll always, she's, "Why do you always pick the last one?" I'm going, I can do it. I can do it because I need more time. So there you go. Thank you for asking that question. He gave a good answer. Bada boom. What do I say? Okay. Oops. Mark Pritchard. Pink Floyd The Wall. Perfect double album. There you go. Led Zeppelin 3 favorite for me. I've never been a big fan. It's right over there in my Zeppelin area. Alex says, it's the 50th anniversary of Blue Oyster Cult, one of the top 3 favorite bands. Which is your favorite album? You know what? I didn't buy a lot of Agents of Fortune. I didn't buy a lot. And what's the other one I bought? What's the other one? I forget. I sold all my records. And if I don't, but I am doing one thing. And Blue Oyster Cult's one of those bands that when I talk to the Bouchard brothers separately, when I talk to them, I told myself, you know what? These guys are so interesting that I've never given Blue Oyster Cult a real chance. So they're one of the bands that I have on my list of bands to listen to. I did that with Yes maybe 20 years ago. I told myself I haven't heard every Yes album. I wasn't crazy about the first 2, but then you listen to them again. You go, it's Yes, come on. I'd heard all the Genesis albums. That's one band I don't have to go back, and I know them quite well. Badfinger, yeah, we still have Joey Mullen's interview not finished yet. Not out. It's finished. We just haven't put up because you can't understand what he's saying. The first BTO LP was great. Surprisingly, when I bought Freeways, not Freeways, I bought Not Fragile. Yeah. I bought that one first, if I remember correctly, and then went back. Pressy, I'm here. Hey! Where does Bonet lie in the top singers of all time? Not on my list. Oh, Bonnet, yeah. Talking about the guy from Rainbow? Dr. Insomnia. Exile on Main Street was always be a perfect double album. I didn't mind it. I've gotten more into the Stones as I get older. Rick. Personally, I like Animals better than Dark Side of the Moon. Oh, okay. Hard to choose. You're right. Douglas W. Perfect LP for me is Aqualon. Yeah, Jethro Tull. James Bashir saw Badfinger first Warner Brothers album tour. Really? Wow. That's a sad story. And you got 2 guys who killed themselves in a band. That's just awful. Raymond Kisser. Hello from Texas. Hello, I'd love to visit Texas. Never been to Texas. Love to go there. Dr. Insomnia. Straight up, Badfinger. Straight up, they're classic. Yeah. Mark Burchett. Sorry about that. Don't know what you said there. Yeah, AGB drums. Never been keen on. I've never been either. I was on the radio. I remember doing New Age music when he released his first album. Hey there from Austin, Texas. River Rat RVR. Hey. Gotta go to Texas. Clay says the album Wind and Wuthering by Genesis is amazing. Yeah, that one and Trick of the Tail. Pretty good. Yeah. Dr. Insomnia. Sid Barrett era Floyd was better. It certainly had a different feel. West Creek. Just got Montrose. Their first LP is awesome. Right on. BB Dodge. Thanks. Great channel. Very informative. I appreciate that. Thank you. Are Canadians upset Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Well, I don't think Canadians think about it as much as Americans do. I'm exposed to it because most of my audience is American. I don't have a big Canadian audience. I've said this before, when I was doing Rock History Book, the radio station, God, most of our listeners were from the US, and they didn't know we were Canadian, but we wouldn't broadcast it. Not that I think an American would care, but Americans have supported me for years. So I'm of the mindset I kind of get a lot of feedback from my American, watchers. So, and I know a lot of Americans are upset with that. I didn't ask Randy Bachman about it, but I'm trying to set up Burton Cummings right now. Ship Kiss Alive 2 was not a fan. Kiss Alive 1 I liked. Dr. Insomnia, Thick as a Brick, masterpiece, yes. I don't know what username that is. Blood on the Rooftops, Clay, yeah, good tune. Love Genesis. Music Critic, what Genesis should I listen to first? Well, I've said this before and it's embarrassing. My first Genesis album was, and then there were 3. Not knowing barely anything about the band because it was in the late 70s and I just didn't know. I didn't know who Mike Rutherford was or Tony Banks or Phil Collins. And at that point, Steve Hackett had left, hence the name of the album. And I loved it. Say It's All Right, Joe. I just loved the sound. I loved Phil's voice. And then I knew there was another singer before him. And I quickly found out. And then started, I think I bought, watch another live broadcast, I'll say another name, but I'm pretty sure I bought Selling England by the Pound after that. And then I went, wow, this is another singer. But this was the late 70s. So Genesis, I would stick with, a lot of people hate Abacab. I liked Abacab a lot. I like the self-titled album. I didn't like Mama. I hated that song. Hated Mama. But my favorite Genesis album with Phil Collins is Duke. I still like Duke. So anybody else here is going to give you a different opinion. I would say go buy Duke and buy Selling England by the Pound, 2 singers. I think and Duke gets a lot of flack because it was the beginning of the end of the old Genesis sound, right? But I like those. The first show I ever saw was Duke by Genesis. Rockchild of the 60s. I saw a commercial on TV yesterday for a Pink Floyd concert this summer. Caught me off guard. What? It would be a saucer full of secrets then. Nick Mason's band. It would have to be. They might have mentioned Pink Floyd, but but Pink Floyd's not getting back together. AGB drums. The Boston album was perfect. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. BB Dodge, Crisis. What Crisis is my fave? Yeah. That Crisis, What Crisis was such a strong album. Crime of the Century before it was great. What's the other one? What's the one with the piano? My brain's getting tired. With Give a Little Bit. Oh, someone mentioned Not Fragile, I see in the comments. Not Fragile is a great album by Yes. EGB Drums says, Kansas is a perfect album called Escapes. To me, Leftover, Point of No Return, Monolith, that trio of albums, I love those from Kansas. Key scenes. The Windham Hill years were special. I was listening to similar programming from WKSU, Kent University. There are recordings of you on air from this time. Are there recordings from you on air this time? I don't know. I've got cassettes, but I can't even put them on YouTube because, and by the way, my delivery back then was like this. I'd go off of, because we played Pink Floyd. We played going to California with Wyndham Hill stuff. We played a lot of what's the name of that? The Right Moment by Jerry Rafferty. If you listen to The Right Moment, you'll see that fits right in with New Age music. So we had that kind of format where we, The Unknown Soldier, Roy Harper, we played with New Age music. Think about it. I mean, that's just a perfect song. He's just on his guitar. He was such a good guitarist. I saw Roy Harper, who's, of course, great friends with Led Zeppelin, and he named a song after him. I saw Roy Harper play it it's on YouTube, and he says, okay, I'm going to try The Unknown Soldier. I'm not sure if I'll get it. I haven't put, because it's a hard song to play on guitar. So, don't get me started. So, Dr. Insomnia. Safe as Milk is the most accessible blues-sounding Beefheart. Okay. Mark Burchard. Agreed. The first two Boston albums are perfect. Yeah, I like a Man I'll Never Be. When Brad Delp sings that on the second album, man. Chip Penman. Going to see Bob Dylan next month for the first time. Oh, cool. BB Dodge. Tom Scholes was brilliant. In fact, he was. Yes. Key Scenes. Yes. New Age channel. Time. I don't know how to say that. All the best music was from 70 to 80. Oh, I don't know about that, but for you, it is, I'm sure. Chip Penman, Dire Straits' first album. I love that. Water of Love. You know, the drumming Pick Withers. And we interviewed Pick and David Knopfler on this channel. AGB Drums. Is the seventh one Toto's best record? For me, it is. It is. And then Toto 4... Toto 1 would be in there. I love the seventh one. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Alan says, Badfinger Straight Up is a perfect album. Pete Ham was hitting his stride. Yeah. Mark Burchard, Porcupine Tree. There's an innovative band. Dr. Insomnia. Terry Riley. Yeah, he kind of disappeared. Is he still around? I had the album where he was going like this. I forget where he's got. It's just his face from here to here with his long hair. I think I'm thinking about the right person. I've never been a big fan, West Creek, of Montrose. Yeah. Ronnie Montrose. River Rat RVR. Eat a Peach is a perfect album. Perfect album, Camp Fantastic and Brown Dirt Cowboy. Yes, I totally agree. I went nuts when that album was, and I accepted Rock of the Westies right after that so easily because it was Elton John, even though the sounds of both albums were quite different. Yes, Quarter Flash. I just received their email address a few months ago, and I was talking to a gentleman who gave me the email address today. To get a hold of them. Hard in my heart, yeah. Dr. Insomnia. Yes, Straight Up Alone should be enough to get them in the Hall of Fame. Clay says, Eat a Peach is an amazing as well. S.E. McStevenson. Carl Wilson episode by Sweet. BB Dodge. Beefheart is definitely an acquired taste. Definitely. Heavy Horses is the best. I was 18. I just loved it. Pressy. I don't know what that means. Wolf Walker Fangirl. Hi, how you doing? Stephen Tixian. Saw Passion Play. Oh, did you really? Cool. Steve Zubel. Are you experienced to a farewell to King's best years? Oh, yeah. I was trying to get Alex Lifeson, by the way. So far, no luck. Livingston Taylor was the warm-up. Oh, really? James's brother, yeah. William Sanders, ZZ Top. Mark, Jethro Tull, Crest of the Knave. Aquilon was great. Rockchild, the 60s. My brother had Jethro Tull album. My brother had every Jethro Tull album made, yes. My eyes are starting to get buggy. How long have I been on here? Okay. I like Mr. Big, Maria Day says. Dave Carlin. Hi, John. Hey, Dave. John Edge. Bungle in the Jungle. He hates that song. Ian Anderson does not like that song. The local radio station never played that song, so the first time I heard it was at the top 100 of the year. and it was either number 199 or in the last five. I remember going, "What is that?" And then I found out it was Jethro Tull. I went, "Oh, cool! Never heard that song before." Lyle Mays. I did a thing when Lyle Mays passed away, David, and I talked about being in the format and playing a lot of Pat Metheny group and the Wichita Falls album, As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls, with him and Pat, their duo album. Charles Wilson, I love you until just now. Aqualon is the best album Jethro Tull ever did. James Bashir, benefit favorite. Really can't go wrong with a lot of their albums. I can't read anymore. God. Silver Guy. Do you mean Eminem? JT Shark. Guns N' Roses does not have a new EP. Slash does. Yeah, Slash does. That's right. I wouldn't know. I don't really follow Guns N' Roses at all. There was a period, and it's sacrilegious for a person who does rock and roll like me to say this, but there was a period in rock and roll in the 80s where I looked at a lot of those bands, even though I think Guns N' Roses were on a much higher level, as just crotch rock bands. The Cinderellas and Motley Crues. I didn't, even Bon Jovi in the beginning, I didn't pay a lot of attention to them. And then I had to because I needed to know, right? Maybe 10 years later. Okay. Where am I? Elaine Cox, Don Henley, End of the Innocents. I remember I bought that when I was moving from Edmonton, Alberta to Vancouver. And the first album I bought in Vancouver was a cassette of End of the Innocents, co-written by and played with Bruce Hornsby, one of my favorite artists of all time. Sorry about that. Every Bruce Hornsby video, almost every one of them, not all of them, suck canal water on this channel. I don't know why people on this channel are not interested in Bruce Hornsby. He's one of the most talented musicians on the freaking planet, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, Hollow Ground by Elaine Cox. You and I have the same. Hollow Ground is one of my favorite songs from Jude Cole. What's the other one? I'll look it up. This is the second thing I've ever looked up. Baby, It's Tonight. What's the name of that song? House Full of Reasons. It's not on here. You can't even click on a Jude Cole album on Wiki. That's pretty sad. Oh, no, you can. No, you can. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, Hollow Ground, great song. Baby, It's Tonight. House Full of Reasons, third song. That's my favorite Jude Cole song. That's like, if you don't know, if you want a great rock pop driving song, first of all, look up A View from 3rd Street. Every song on this album is fantastic. Jude Cole. Oh, I should try. I talked to Jude Cole on Facebook once, but he was going to Japan or something. And he couldn't do the interview. We need a Lyle Mays program. David Carlin. I don't. But that's not the lane we're in on this channel. We can't. If I did a Lyle Mays thing, even though I know you like Pat Metheny, it's just not the lane that this channel is in. And I did an obituary, talked about his career. But there should be a Lyle Mays program on XM. I don't know. I mean, he did solo stuff, but he was really known for layering the Pat Metheny stuff. Raw Power, Iggy and the Stooges, enough said. Dr. Insomnia, best performer I ever saw in my life. And certainly not my favorite artist, not even close, but was Iggy Pop in concert opening up for the Pretenders. I've said this many times. Okay, West Creek, best concert was in 2000, Sydney, Australia, and saw, the Seekers Farewell Tour, right on. BB Dodge, but I don't know what that is. Stephen Amori, hi all, from Cambridgeshire. Hey, oh yeah, you're like 5 hours ahead of us. Dr. Insomnio, Motorhead, Ace of Spades, yeah. I used to have a neighbor that used to crank that out. JT Shark. Guns N' Roses dropped an EP and reworked songs Chinese sessions. Okay. Barry Giddy. Hi from Australia. Hey, man. Thanks for tuning in. BB Dodge. Phasers on Stun. Yeah, FM. Man, what a song. If anyone doesn't know the Canadian band FM, just look up Black Noise. Is it Black Noise? What was? Oh my God! Sometimes I'll say something and I'll go, I haven't heard. Yeah, it's Black Noise, isn't it? FM band. Haven't heard it in so long. No, group, FM group. I'll look it up on, hold on guys. Here I am, just cruising the internet for it. Yeah, Black Noise, that's what it was called. Oh, that's a great album, 77. If you like prog, good stuff. Hi from Australia. Hey, Barry, nice to see you. I know I've already said that. BB Dodge, haha, the mummy. David Carlin. John, can you interview people who knew Lyle Mays? Okay, not going to happen. This is not the channel for this. Whenever I go out of the lane with this channel, we don't lose subscribers per se, but this is such a competitive market on YouTube now, and I have to stick in this lane. So I'm not going to. Sorry, I can't do that. I love NASA Slash, bandages and all. Was there ever any pictures of him? Because I looked for one once, and he passed, of course. I spent a weekend in Liverpool going on Beatles tours. Oh, JT, right on. Paulo says, Elton John. Hey, Paulo. Elton John, 975 San Diego. Awesome bootleg. West of the Rockies tour. I have that. I don't know if I still have it. Because they were all, I probably don't have it anymore. Because it was, I used to collect I had every Elton John bootleg I can imagine. Douglas W. Ever get into German electronic music like Kraftwerk yet? Kraftwerk. I used to play Tangerine Dream on my New Age channel. Not a lot of stuff. I was never a big fan. Like the stuff from Thief. Remember they did the soundtrack to Thief? James Caan movie. We played some of that. BB says XTC was an amazing band. Yes. Fish is great. I like his voice. He has a unique voice. You can really tell the difference when he left Marillion. But I like the new singer too. Hello, HSTS, Dr. Insomnia, Zappa, all instrumental Zappa is amazing. Marcus says, Crest of a Knave is underrated Jethro Tull album. I liked it. JT says, are you going to doing a video on Ian McDonald? No, it's too late now. A lot of people have kind of beaten me to it. And yeah, if you do an obituary a day after or 2 days after, first of all, it just doesn't get it's not like I'm all in this for the money, but no one will watch it. Too many other people have covered it. Favorite composer, probably Elton and Bernie. JT Shark, first album I bought was News of the World. Oh, Queen, right on. David Carlin, hi John, any chance you can do Lyle Mays documentary? Oh my God, no, I'm not gonna answer Lyle Mays questions anymore. I have nothing against them. I played them on the radio. Dr. Insomnia, Quadrophenia was amazing. BB Dodge. Oh yeah, Bluish Cult. Dr. Insomnia. Okay, some of you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Glass Tiger, Diamond Sun, Perfection. I love Glass Tiger. I interviewed them. Trenton Paul, Blue Oyster Cult, Black Oak, Arkansas. Hike with Mike. Hey, Hike. I don't watch sports. Don't care at all. Rather talk about rock and roll. Hike with Mike. Nice to have you back, man. Charles Wilson, Blue Oyster Cult. On your feet, on your knees. Fast Eagle. Somebody call my name. Paulo Vincent. Check out Mike Miller tapes. 75, Zeppelin 75, 77, another great, amazing bootleg. I used to have a lot. I had the German concert, the last concert they ever did with John Bonham. I had that. It was weird listening to it because obviously the only person who knows it's their last concert is us watching that. The band obviously was, but it was weird listening to it. Yeah, I have that someplace. Okay, yeah, Jolyn Turner, Graham Bonnet, Dio, Doctor Insomnia, Not Fragile was great. Yeah. Charles Wilson, yeah. What he said, Mahogany Rush. Okay, I'm gonna pack it up here soon. I can. Frank Marino. The last time I heard from Frank Marino, Apollo, was he had said the music industry was dead. That was he probably said other things, but the last time I heard him say anything was him saying that. Max Webster, yeah, love Max Webster. But interestingly, I like the very poppy album, A Million Vacations. I love that album. Douglas W. I'm from Southeast Texas. Can fry eggs on the sidewalk in July. I prefer to be cooler climate here in Ohio. Okay, cool. I've got to go to, I'd love to go to Texas. Rockchild, Peter Gabriel got damn weird during the last few years with Genesis. Well, he was going through a lot. He was going through a sort of a cathartic period. He was delving into a lot of different things, like the ethereal things. And he was worried about his marriage at the time. Lamb Lies Down on Broadway that was an out there album. I love it. So he was going through stuff. He was a young man. Charles Wilson, Americans and Canadians are brothers, and we love each other until you piss off. Okay. Well, Canadians do love Americans for the most part. I mean, I always have. And maybe that's some of the energy that rubs off why we have so many why the majority of people who support this channel are Americans, And I get a little defensive when I hear any negativity about Americans from some of my Canadian friends. For years, even with the radio station before, the majority of people who listened to Rock History Book, the internet radio station, were Americans. They loved us and they supported us, and it was great. So that's why I think the energy's still there for this channel, Rock History Music. So okay, David Carlin, if you don't stop asking me about Lyle Mays, I'm going to block you from this channel. So I don't know why you're doing that. I'm not sure why you keep asking the same question. But if you do, we're going to block you from this channel. That's kind of like, I don't know why you're doing that. The music critic, my familiarity is limited, certain stuff. Well, I think we have holes, right? I think a lot of us have. When I was doing New Age music, I was doing the best I could to listen to rock and roll and pop. I was still listening to Toto and Chicago and even Third Stage from Boston and in the late 80s. But I had my hands in this format that was really taking off. So, music critic, what prog should I check out first? Go with the first few albums from Genesis. Well, not from Genesis to Revelation. I wouldn't recommend that. But Foxtrot, Trespass, or Trespass as we call it in North America. I've been talking to too many Brits because they say Trespass, right? Or for the band Status Quo, it's not Status Quo, which a lot of North Americans say. It's Status, right? So you get, but obviously some Yes. There's so many great bands out there. Just look up biggest prog bands and just go nuts. Hi, Elaine Cox. Hi from Ozman of Colors Icehouse. Oh yeah, I remember Icehouse. Randy Collins. Hi, John. Have you listened to Focus Live? At the Rainbow? No, I have not. James Bashir, Even in the Quietest Moments, perfect album. Kansas Leftoverture, perfect album. BB Dodge, Jerry Rafferty, he didn't really have a bad album. I know a lot of them didn't have hits, but man, he was amazing. Okay. Okay, David, you're gone from the channel. There's something, I don't know if you're if you're dealing with Asperger's syndrome. I can understand that. I'm sorry about that. But you're like a one-trick pony. You won't let it go. Or OCD. I can understand Asperger's. I've got friends who have Asperger's. But they usually tell me, "Oh, sorry, I have problems with that." But that was like he was trolling. I think he was doing that just to be a jerk. I don't think it had anything to do with Asperger's or anything like that. But that was kind of kooky. I don't know why he kept doing that. I don't know why people do stuff like that. Kooky. Okay. Leaf Erickson, what's your opinion on the new Jethro Tull album? I like it. I don't love it. I like it. Hike with Mike. Bruce Hornsby and the Range. First album was amazing. Yeah, the second was good. The third was great. I mean, Bruce Hornsby doesn't have a bad album. Just love Bruce Hornsby. The last two albums have been a little out there for me. A little out there. Where the last album I don't think it even had piano, or it was the one before, it didn't have piano on it. The one before was Hammer Dulcimer. And then the last album didn't have piano. And I'm going, I'm not sure. Maybe he gets bored easily. The last time I talked to him, his twins were babies. And now I've interviewed him twice. Oh, wait. On this day, hold on. This is me and Mark Jordan. And I think, hold on, stay right there. Don't move. I've got a picture. You're gonna say, wow. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, here it is. Okay. At the time, Mark Jordan was my favorite artist of all time, and wouldn't you know, the picture would turn out like this. You can barely see me. Oh, too much glare. There's me and Bruce Hornsby. And notice we're the same height. That's the other thing that people would go, oh, this is fake. I mean, there's an interview. I can back it up. I interviewed the guy. We're the same height. Bruce Hornsby's tall. He played basketball. His sons are tall. They played basketball in university and in high school. So I was on an incline like that. And I was on the Seafund Studios. Used to have. But anyway, there you go. We interviewed. I'm wearing the same thing. We're both taking a picture in the back. There you go. Bruce Hornsby. There's my Canada-Russia thing, signed by Paul Henderson. What else do I have here? Oh, guys, wait a second. There's my Trans Am. I know it's not a clear picture because of the lights. That's my 78 Trans Am. What else do I have here I can show you? I guess not much. Not much at all. I love that Trans Am. It started rusting really badly. How is Shannon doing? She's doing fine. Yeah, she's just looking after Danica right now. Oh, Drew Cole's Speed of Life. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this I can't. This is way too many questions. I don't even know where I'm at. Cool. Okay, folks, I'm going to retire. I've been on here longer, over an hour. It's been fun. Just talking stuff, just hanging out. Smokey in the Bandit, yeah. Yeah, BB. I never ever bought it or was inspired by Smokey and the Bandit. I thought those movies were a little silly, but I was young, so I watched them, of course, and I loved Sally Fields. But I bought them because I just love the car. And that's why I got a gold one. I wanted it specifically. I didn't want a black one. Take it easy, Rockchild in the 60s. Oh, you saw Roy Harper. Oh my. I love The Unknown Soldier. I love that album. Just love that album a lot. I still have it. When I sold all my records, I kept that one. That's how much I loved it. But I'm going to rock and roll now. I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl. It's okay. I'm not against the Super Bowl. Just not interested in it. You guys take good care of yourself. Take care.